first up, we have a poet, and he has come up from Portstewart, where he runs a monthly spoken word poetry night called A Little of What You Fancy. Now, they have a Facebook group, if anybody's interested. It's on the second Monday of every month. Please welcome Michael Wilson.
Hello. This is my first time performing in Derry, which is great. It's been such a long time coming, but yeah, I'm really pleased to be here. I like to write sometimes on the theme of science. So this poem is taking the idea of dark energy and trying to put it into a story. So hopefully it's not too kind of off-putting, because the second you kind of say science or space, people kind of go, oh. Unless you're watching Big Bang Theory, which is so dumbed down that, you know, a 4-year-old child could get it. But yeah, this poem is called Dark Energy. There is something, Lambda said in a strangely hushed tone for once, that makes a life accelerate. Makes me think about those who count through the days, makes me feel sad. With that, she threw a double 15 with her final dart, finishing the game, and went to the bar, left long enough chatting to the barman, long enough for me to warrant taking out my phone and rummaging around inside it for updates. On her return, a single beer in hand, like a much scaled down version of someone she used to be, I pointed at it, said, triumph rolling from my tongue, not everything slows down compared to before. She said, smiling, what if acceleration is really the slowing down of something that is already contracting? And with that we started another game. Halfway through, on the other side of some prattle about him and her and where we thought they were going, and just as the jukebox began to play a song I knew neither of us liked very much, I said, it's a question of light. What is, she said. That thing we were on about earlier, it's about light. Expand, she demanded. Well, say all light takes a while to reach you, and by the time it does, everything has moved far away. I took a dramatic pause to throw a dart. Then really it all comes from nothing, and closed the game. Lambda turned and walked to the jukebox without a word. I followed, and as she flickered through the selection on the screen, she talked. I think I know what you mean, she said. It's the same as me, it's all an illusion really. Life is a card trick designed to trick the holder into thinking there's a method to the house, but really life accelerates because there's nothing else it can do. It's all dark energy, motivation and expression. The cards we're given are random. It's up to us to put them into groups and do our best to keep up. If there is something dark and mysterious making a life accelerate, it's up to us to understand it and try our best to do our best. It's at these moments when I love Lambda most. And just as she was finishing, and the song on the jukebox began to reach an ending, it imparted a lyric so apt that fate lent the final line, and it beggared belief. And she turned to me smiling and said, I think that calls for a shot or two, Cap. So I headed for the bar. Thank you. This second one took me a long time to write because of the subject matter really, it's just simply called Break Poem. When I was someone else, held in my own skin, held in my own mind by someone I didn't recognise, I was evil. And all evilness emanated not from what I did, there were always two options, but from the stuttering shadow of not being able to start. And it wasn't just me. My family and close friends would join me in pain, but what hurt most was knowing my cowardice and the inability to break the world upon a twig would cause their judgment against them, for me being able to do nothing but fret. And after all, there was nothing there. No one peeled alive, no one burned at night. Just moments of my illness, spliced together from fragments of sanity, a smooth sound emanating from a slow, hazy crackle. The slow spaces of desolate voices, all of them mine, but mine's is simply scale. William Burroughs learnt his cut-up technique from a man who spent 15 years convinced that the whole of the world's evils emanated from his ghostly body. So he was a shut-in. to save the world from itself and from himself. But imagine the pain and the misery at the world that he imagined against the flesh of the hotel room door. The shadows cast upon the wall seems worse when the detail upon it is nothing but the grin of a grim smile. And now, I'm glad I'm still alive and nothing has made me search that other option out. But living can be sharper when you believe these things but do not act. But at least I've saved my family the flat broke love of caring for nothing but a memory of a brother, a friend, a son. Just know you do well to get out alive, but for those who can't, I truly empathise. But if these words can reach you, when even your own recollection can't stay here. Because pretty soon the warmth of their embrace will come rushing in around you, and the seeds of recovery which are found ironically in psychosis are the beginning of knowing the world, this life, yourself. Thank you. Okay. I'll just go into the next one. It's called Angel. Your little weird little ways are nothing compared to the nonsense going on in heaven. You wouldn't know how to label them if you did, in the little sterile bottles you like to put everything in. At night, I watch the stars to get a sense of way back then. There are some of them. I know them all. They were still in their cradles when it happened. The light is a tram track back to a simpler time. I feel like a mother. Watch you all develop into noise, cluttering around me almost imperceptibly. I've lived through kings and queens, countries and empires, in the dark globe of unknown lives that come and pass like breath, unnoticed but vital to life. The rich, the stately draw the maps. The rest of you build the bridges and the tracks, silent outside your corners, remembered by your own for a life or two, and for me, heaven barred, hell still open, but I can't take the decision to drink in oblivion and hack these wings away, which drag across dance floors, scrape city pavements, comfort short-stay lovers, and hang useless the rest of the time. Because I can't leave the people, marred in shame, holy with doubt, who would rather hide their own pain away in order to not make another soul smile, who light candles for people they don't know, half a world away, who feel another's sorrow much more than their own, who share the same restless thought that one day this world will shine greater than the sun. For those reasons, these reasons alone, life is an imperfect drama tinged with comedy from which I can't walk away. Besides, I'd like to see how the rest of this pans out. Thank you. Okay, and last one. You can have a choice here. We can have a slightly amusing, but you won't laugh out loud, but it's kind of slightly amusing. But always makes me feel awkward because I can't hear any laughter. About being at university back in the 90s, or you could have one with sign language about a festival that's Abby will have heard before because it's really old. But
thanks a lot.
sorry for that. That's the same as when I stood up and said to Jerry Potter that he was a stalwart of the Manchester poetry scene. He didn't take it very well, he didn't, you know. Anyway, no, sorry about that, Abby. Yeah, young Abby, you know, Mademoiselle. So that's your choice. At least you got some laughter out of that. So you can have, which one would you prefer, the university one or the festival one?
Festival.
Festival, okay. Well, this uses BSL sign language, if I can remember how to do it properly. Which I'm looking to get back into, actually. It's a good language to learn. So this is a real life experience story from about 2 weeks when I was into dance music. And then there was a festival right in the middle of that. And then I prayed to the gods of Pavement and the Smiths and asked for their redemption and came back to indie music again, which I've never left. Hey. So this poem is untitled, and it's by a dance festival in Banbury called Gatecrasher Sound System, 2000. Untitled. Be careful with that cigarette in your hand, watching the honeymooners play their limbs up to the night. I see others peel away the tender edges of their tinfoil heart and devour all they find. The push and pull of human skin, the twist and turn of puckered bone, in it together and all that. The glint of teeth and smell of sweat, light filters through fingers, and the strangest thoughts creep noiselessly through your head. Figures hunch in desperate draughts of breath, and at your feet is all the misery of tomorrow, but for now, there's a few hours to spare. On the big screen, staccato, stiletto sharp images are punctuated by clunky sold adverts for this and that, but after a while they all crash together, so you pay no mind, and all the colours pass your eyes, lost in themselves, striving to be a different shade. Magnetic tattoos and glow sticks fixed in the dense stamp air of poppers, and you still get tracers from the cigarette in your hand, as prophetic and dumb-ground thoughts break in, enter your head, and destroy all they come across, and you know there isn't long. You can hear it, feel it, and the thrusts of arms around you, and the DJ plucks and plucks at the music until it peaks and pushes everybody into tomorrow. And you push away from the heat of the tent, and the sky outside quivers between night and day, and all around you are Lowry's matchstick men, shambling past each other, trying to piece together their own concentration and sense of purpose, kicking through masses of rubbish. And at your feet are dead plastic fires, plastic cups, plastic bank bags, and plastic bottles. And they stretch away from you, over acres and acres, and you don't want to be here. So those litmus paper tongues an hour ago were so sugar sweet, will now be turning to acid. And something you don't want to know about tugs at a sleeve of thought. And suddenly, the thin-lined round of the horizon brightens, and the dilated pupil of the sun breaks through the rubbish-strewn ground. And the sun brightens the corners of everyone's faces as your mind is jolted to the present for just one blessed moment. But it's the speed you notice most, as it pulls away from us and makes for the sky. And the sky is a beautiful blue-eyed boy. And some part of it becomes lodged in your throat and stays throughout the day. But for now, it's time to go home. It's after all, life is a wonderful waste.